has been twofold for the last 5 years. War and economic destruction by the globalists. Systematic destruction by the globalists who partnered with the Democrats, who are basically narcos, communists, and Satanists. So with war and economic sabotage, we're having a hard time. We need to rebuild, and Trump needs to get the hell out of the way for foreign direct investments and quit threatening nations that have already pledged multi-billion-dollar foreign direct investment. Some of it is in artificial intelligence. Here's something to keep in mind. If you got a group of 10 workers and they each put to use AI tools, they can probably do the same amount of work with 8, so they can cut back 2 people. That does not mean AI is doing the job of 2 people. It means AI is reducing the workload or increasing the output. That's better description of the other 8, so that 2 can be let go. So learn your AI tools. Learn engineering. All kinds. Civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. Learn them. Don't have your kids opt out of mathematics for their junior year in high school. That's suicide.
The U.S. government shutdown was allowing President Trump to clean house. Who do you think he'll get rid of?
The Department of Energy, the Department of Education, the National Institute of Health, FEMA, the Internal Revenue Service. That's a really good start. In addition to that, he might have like 10% across the board for all the other agencies. This is a unique opportunity for Trump to kill jobs from executive orders, which most people and most congressmen don't even recognize. Okay, this government shutdown has many, many different aspects. I'm reading from at least, 8 or 9 different sources that there are thousands of arrests being done right now. State level, corporate level, they're being arrested. They're traitors. They're spies working with the Chinese Communist Party. They're agents funneling in money from the Chinese and funneling out money from the U.S. government to the cabal in Switzerland. That's the headquarters, Geneva. That's where the Satanists operate. When I do my prayers, I ask for the Lord Jesus to protect me from the Satanists and their demonic attacks coming out of Geneva and the Vatican. For all you Catholics out there who aren't aware, the last pope was a Satanist. Pope Bergoglio, Francis Bergoglio, Satanist. Get a grip, people. Vatican's a Satanist organization masquerading as a Catholic church. They've even done Satanist rituals in the cathedral in the Vatican, and the people are so slow and so dim-witted they didn't even know they were attending a satanic mass. Okay, Trump is arresting a lot of people. It could be that FEMA will be completely dismantled by the time this shutdown is over with. I think the shutdown is going to last no more than maybe 10 days to 2 weeks more. Trump has arrested every single person leading the Antifa. That's a beautiful thing. And Antifa is another insult to intelligence. It means anti-fascist when they are fascist. So the dumbasses say, Antifa is not fascist, it's anti-fascist. No, you're a dumbass. The United States and Canada are loaded with dumbasses. I think a third of the population. Your next door neighbor might be a dumbass. Your co-worker across the hall might be a dumbass. There are dumbasses all over the place. The narcos, communists, and Satanists have solicited the Democrat Party loyals to do their pleading and do their rioting. They're supported by the dumbasses, and include my older brother. He doesn't even know that he's supporting Marxists. Oh no, Jim, that's more like, diversity and, equality, equity. This is not communism. Well, censorship was part of communism, you idiot. I mean, I'm telling you, my brother is typical. We're loaded with dumbasses across the country. We need to re-educate. We've got close to, I think, 2 decades of bad education in the United States. People go to college to determine their gender, not to learn mathematics and science. We've turned nations of idiots. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a non-binary. I believe that men can be pregnant. I'm not going to go there. Oh, no. What a moron. They go to college to major in drugs and alcoholism. I knew several. What do they come out of college learning? What do they come out with? Oh, I tell you, I really admire a guy named Jack Ma, the Alibaba. This is not about education, but it's a very related point. He said the U.S. government spent $20 trillion in the last 40 years on military. What'd you get for it? You got rotting infrastructure in the United States, and you got 30 nations that hate your guts. You got a lot of rich military contractors, got a lot of busy warriors. What'd you get out of your 20 trillion? Okay, we have not put money in education. Look at all the different universities that are now sanctuary havens. Look at the morons at Harvard University. Oh my gosh. Never seen such stupidity in my life. Okay, I'm getting off the point, but this shutdown has many different parts. It could be attacks on the sanctuary cities. I'm making a prediction. Illinois Governor Pritzker could be the first one arrested for sedition, harboring criminals, and outright treason. The states that I think are vulnerable are California with Newsom, Illinois with Pritzker, Oregon, and New York. Washington is no different from Oregon. I just don't see them in the news very much. We could be seeing a number of arrests. What might happen, and this is what I expect to happen, the underlings to Newsom in California might get arrested so he doesn't have his support structure while they're revealing his multi-billion-dollar frauds. And Pritzker's underlings might be arrested. I heard the mayor of Chicago is going absolutely berserk and psycho and might have to resign for basically going crazy. I want the Illinois governor arrested. I want 10,000 National Guard descending on Chicago. A judge needs to be arrested who made a suggestion that the barrier to the Chicago ICE, the Immigration Control Enforcement, the barriers, the fences need to come down for the ICE. Why? So they can attack it. Well, that's an act of insurrection. So that's a judgment ruling by the court of insurrection. Take down the governor, take down a few judges. Let's clean house. The shutdown is about cleaning house and reducing the size of the government.
Do you think people funding Antifa could also be involved in Agenda 2030, depopulation and pedo rings designed to destroy societies?
Yeah, but I'd really focus on Antifa as being the official rioting army, if you will, rioting in the sanctuary cities. They're funders. Okay, having Antifa declared a terrorist organization, domestic terrorist organization by Trump, that was a great step. Now we can go in and just arrest them. But he's gone further. He's saying, let's seek out the funding, and it's the Soros Open Society funding. So he's talking about RICO. But, they're really empty words, because it's Alex Soros. The father's dead. The father, George, he's pictures all over the place, but he's dead. I mean, when people are dead, people don't recognize it because most people are very slow mentally. Alex Soros is in charge, but the Open Society assets are sitting in Switzerland. I believe over 90% are sitting in Switzerland. You can't RICO Switzerland, Donald. So, don't talk bluster. How many Open Society assets are sitting in the United States? I think it's way under 10% of their multi-billions. They're sitting in the core in Switzerland, not to be touched. Okay, so yeah, let's go after Antifa and dissolve it. I heard 2 years ago that the heads of Antifa were arrested. Well, they get replaced, so we need to continue to arrest. They're designed to destroy society, but that's not Antifa's role. That's the globalist role. It's the big bankers' role. They talk about 320,000 unescorted kids who are missing. It's a lot bigger than that. It's probably closer to 1 million. That's just the number they can count. How many do they not count? They don't talk about what they can't count. I mean, if some guy and a woman have 2 kids and they have falsified papers and they say, well, we're all together, that's not called unescorted. But you get across the border and then they hand them over to the Biden authorities and put them into trafficking networks. So those are 2 that are not counted, and there's 320,000. Okay, the numbers are way low. Okay, enough. Antifa has been identified as a domestic terrorist organization, and I love it.
By designating Antifa an international terrorist organization, can the U.S. arrest members, funders, and politicians supporting Antifa anywhere in the world, including Canada?
They really need the support of those particular sovereign nations. You can't send U.S. Marines or special forces into Netherlands, into Switzerland. Well, Switzerland, they got the entire national police supporting the cabal. They're on contract. So that would start a war. You can talk about it. That could be nice bluster, might make really good headlines, but it's not going to happen. You need to get the support. Oh, I heard there was a case where the Italian military helped to halt a trafficking network for kids. The Italian military was working with the U.S. Special Forces. That's how you get it done.
People on the left, including Jimmy Kimmel, are saying there is no Antifa. It's an idea, an entirely imaginary organization. Your thoughts?
He's a liar.
Saturday, October 18th is being called No King's Day for a day of protests across the U.S. What are you hearing about it?
I'm not hearing much, but I've read in the past about No King's Day, and it's got a lot of sponsored violence, like delivered pallets of half bricks. You know, if you get a full brick, that's pretty heavy. You get a half brick, that's got some decent weight. But isn't it amazing that during the demonstrations that involve sanctuary cities and Antifa, there are always deliveries of bricks at important centers and street corners? Well, I don't think No King's Day will be any different. Therefore, I don't remember her name. It's one of the Waltons. I can't think of her first name, but she's one of the heiresses and directors on the board for Walmart, and she's a major contributor to No King's Day. If they could track some of the funding of No King's Day back to that Lady Walton and identify that as fomenting rioting, then I would be in favor of arresting her ass and giving her a multi-million-dollar fine and 100 days in prison. And if it continues, run a RICO and declare no king's supporters as part of domestic terrorists. Link them with Antifa. I don't think it'd be that hard. So if we get some elite corporate, magnates, wealthy types associated with Antifa, I would love to see RICO applied to their wealth.
Why do you think Commonwealth countries are being targeted for destruction?
Because they belong to the crown, the British crown. They're not independent nations. They're subjects to the crown. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, they're subjects to the crown. They're not sovereign nations. And they don't even know it. Because many of their citizens are dumbasses. They don't know their own country.
In Canada, we're hearing of influence on governments by the World Economic Forum, the Chinese Communist Party, India, Mexican cartels. Canada is being referred to as a